And so Rishi Sunak is in the race now formally, and finally he'd been expected to declare for some time. He's been in the lead already, and not just in the lead, he has been gaining ground in that lead, and substantially. He has, by one BBC count, 130 public declarations of support. He needed just 100 for nomination. Any candidate does, and no other candidate is near that yet. The second placed, according to these public declarations, is Boris Johnson, who has less than half the support that Rishi Sunak has already. This is a very telling indicator, because since the start of this campaign there have been talks between members of Rishi Sunak's team and those of Boris Johnson's team, and it is reported that the two candidates met last evening, and there is insistence from Boris Johnson's side that he will be a candidate. There was some talks, some negotiations to try and figure out if there can be some sort of understanding between the two, whether they could come together in government with Boris Johnson as PM and Rishi Sunak again as Chancellor. But that has changed. The negotiations have changed because the power game has changed. Boris Johnson is not getting the kind of support that he was expecting to, and that it was announced on his behalf that he would. That puts Rishi Sunak in a very, very strong position now, in a commanding position almost, certainly at this stage. The big question is whether Boris Johnson now can get that 100 figure needed to get nominated. If he does, then it's a runoff with members casting their vote. Then it would be advantage Boris Johnson. But there are strong indications that if Boris Johnson does not get to that number, and many believe he will not, then Rishi Sunak very much is in the clear, very much ahead of the race. And if by Monday no other candidate gets to that 100 figure that Rishi Sunak has crossed already, then on Monday Rishi Sunak could be announced Prime Minister.